All right, do you want to get free wireless internet service? Well, you could have, but last week the Federal Communications Commission dismissed a proposal to build a system that would provide free high-speed internet service across the nation. The FCC, which usually auctions off unused frequencies, said that granting a particular company access to the necessary airwaves is not in the public's interest. John Maletta is the founder and CEO of that company, M2Z Networks. He believes that pressure from telecom giants like Verizon and AT&T is preventing you from getting a free, fast internet hookup. It can't be, John. That can't be true, because it sounds like a great idea.
Well, it is a great idea, but unfortunately the result has been that the FCC said that they need more time to think about whether Americans should have free broadband throughout the country. We are, reviewing the decision, but fundamentally the only people that oppose this service were a number of the existing big telcos who make a lot of money from charging Americans for wireless broadband.
Now, the FCC makes a lot of money by auctioning off the waves on which the internet sort of travels, and one of their observations was that they like to auction these off, and by granting you and your company access to build this network, that wasn't a fair system.
Well, we think what's really fair is what the American consumers get out of these wireless services. In fact, Congress has said that making money is not the highest priority. What they said is make sure that Americans get the most affordable communication services out there. So what we proposed was, regardless of how the spectrum, who gets the spectrum, how it's done, the first thing to decide
spectrum is that's the access, that's the waves.
That's the airwaves, yeah. Right? And so what we said was, look, the first thing you should do is figure out whether Americans should get free wireless broadband services just like they do free over-the-air television. Then you can decide who's the right person to show it, and we said, given our backers and given the amount of monies that we raised, we thought we were the right people. We also said that we would lease the spectrum and pay Americans, the American public, 5% of our revenues, so that the American people are made whole. We think this is a public asset, and that it should be used to the benefit of American people.
So what should be free? I mean, I have super duper fast cable, internet coming into my house. When you're talking about making it free for everybody, you're probably talking about sort of a lesser form of free, but something that's available. So if you have a laptop, or you have a computer, or you've got a computer in your house, you've got some access to the internet for free.
Right. Let's first discuss what the facts are. There's over 100 million Americans today that don't have access to the internet or to broadband, and those are just the adults, not their children. So what's the problem? It's not that there's not broadband available, it's just not affordable. On the other hand, 99% of Americans have television, free over-the-air television. You can go to any part of America and get 3 to 6 channels for free by buying a simple reception device.
So you're saying sort of like that. You're not talking about giving the kind of internet that perhaps you and I have free to everybody. There'll be premiums to pay if you want, certain options. But basic broadband internet that allows you to surf the web and go about your business, you should be free to everybody.
Yeah, we said there should be at least the broadband that's at a minimum that's 6 times faster than dial-up, that's always on, that can be found anywhere that you go throughout the United States, should be made available to all Americans. And then we said that there should be no subsidies or any sort of government participation in this. Let the private sector do it. The people that have invested in us are 3 of the leading venture capitalists in America, the people that have invested in Google and Yahoo and MySpace and TiVo.
But how are you making your money if you give away free internet to everybody?
We think it's the same way that people on television make money, which is to have advertising-supported network to be built and made available to Americans. Economic studies that we provided that the FCC didn't have a chance to take a look at, apparently, said that this would benefit Americans anywhere in net present value, in today's terms, $18 to $32 billion. And that every year of delay that we don't provide Americans for free broadband would result in about $4.7 billion worth of loss to Americans.
So bottom line is we're not going to see free internet. There's some cities that are doing this, but fundamentally we're not going to see free internet, broadband internet in America's cities anytime soon.
Well, we hope that the FCC will actually, through this proposed rulemaking, actually determine that free and family-friendly broadband is the right thing to do, and figure out how to get people like us, entrepreneurs, innovators, to get into the marketplace to provide these services. The Commission, unfortunately, did did not actually decide on anything on Friday. And so what we hope is that American people wake up to this opportunity and say, hey, if Silicon Valley's out there to provide free broadband
go ahead and take
everywhere we go.
John, we'll leave it there. We'll keep in touch. Interesting that you said free, family-friendly broadband. That's an important consideration for parents who think that their kids are just going to be able to go all over the place and download inappropriate content. One of your proposals was, in fact, to filter some content. So we'll keep in touch with you on that. Thanks very much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
John Maletta is a